Sometimes, the private pain of one individual can bring silence to the entire world. In Toronto, at the premiere of Couture, Angelina Jolie needed neither glamour nor praise. She only needed a memory, the memory of her mother, who passed away from cancer, to bring the room into silence. When an audience member asked what advice she had for those who had just lost a loved one, Jolie choked up and recalled, "My mother used to say, people only asked her about cancer. But she was still a human being, she still had a whole life." In that moment, people no longer saw a Hollywood star, but a daughter grieving her mother, a woman once fearful of a hereditary disease, and a human being courageous enough to face destiny. Jolie's tears were not only for Marceline Bertrand, but also for all those who had lost someone they loved to cancer. And from that very human moment, a larger question arose. In a world where medicine can predict risks, and society demands transparency, how much of our private lives can we still keep to ourselves? And what role can art, cinema play in helping us rediscover meaning in inevitable loss? Losing her mother to cancer was not just Angelina Jolie's private grief. In her tears at the Toronto Film Festival, people saw a memory shared by millions. The helplessness of watching a loved one slip away, meals that would never again feel whole, and an unfillable void. This was not a privilege of a Hollywood star. It was a universal tragedy of humanity, in an era where cancer haunts nearly every family. When Jolie repeated her mother's words, people only asked her about cancer. But she was still a human being. She still had a whole life. That statement transcended her family. It became an echo, striking the memory of those who had sighed at the repetitive questions posed to their ill relatives. What did the doctor say? What's the treatment? Are you feeling better? Questions filled with care, yet inadvertently suffocating a person's presence. The patient became synonymous with the disease, while their joys, dreams, and ordinary stories gradually vanished from others' eyes. Jolie's personal story became a reminder. Illness does not define the whole person. A mother, a father, a friend, they remain who they are, even when their bodies battle cancer. And that pain of loss, spoken aloud by a global icon, became a mirror reflecting a universal experience. Everyone could find a shadow of their own family within it. At this point, personal tragedy merged with the collective. Jolie was not only crying for her mother, she was crying for millions of others who had lost parents, siblings, or friends. Her tears thus carried a resonance, binding strangers into a community of empathy. Cinema is, at its core, the art of storytelling, but here, real life far surpassed the power of the screen. On a broader level, we see a social phenomenon. The more public figures speak openly about illness, the more private suffering transforms into a shared forum. The public, in turn, finds comfort in knowing they are not alone, while also being given the chance to confront a global issue. Cancer, once just a medical diagnosis, is now seen as a human experience where emotions, memories, and losses bind us all together. If Jolie's tears in Toronto evoked the grief of losing a mother, then Brad Pitt's steadfast presence during her preventative cancer surgeries revealed another dimension. Illness does not only test an individual, it tests love, trust, and the very foundation of family. When Jolie publicly announced her decision to undergo a double mastectomy in 2013, the world was divided. Some praised her bravery, others questioned its necessity, and some even called it extreme. Yet amid the debate, Brad Pitt's words became an anchor. He called Jolie a, quote, hero, affirming his admiration and unconditional support. For a woman facing one of life's most difficult choices, giving up part of her body to gain a chance at life, that support became her shield. Jolie later admitted that it was Brad Pitt who stood by her through every moment. From the long days in the hospital, to the time she anxiously looked at herself in the mirror, and even when she had to explain to their children why their perfect mother suddenly bore scars. In such a circumstance, love was no longer measured by sweet promises, but by patience, presence, and the ability to share what is hardest to say. No matter how many years have passed, people still see the ever-present smile on Angelina Jolie's captivating, wide lips, still see her radiant as she holds her children's hands, taking them back to visit their homeland. That smile continued to shine even in the most difficult of times, especially during her preventative double mastectomy in 2013, and most recently, her ovarian surgery in early 2015. Brad Pitt could not perform a miracle to cure Angelina Jolie or eliminate the cancerous cells in her body, but his support for his wife while she faced this life-threatening illness became an example for every couple to look up to. Supporting a partner through difficult decisions. In May 2013, Angelina shocked the world when she revealed that she had undergone 3 months of procedures to remove and reconstruct both breasts. She carried a faulty copy of the BRCA1 gene, which significantly increases the risk of breast and ovarian cancer. Doctors told her she faced an 87% risk of breast cancer and a 50% risk of ovarian cancer. Angelina understood the danger all too well. Her mother, Marceline Bertrand, had died in 2007 at the age of 56 from the same disease. By removing the tissue carrying the mutation, Jolie's risk of breast cancer was reduced from 87% to under 5%. As a renowned actress with striking beauty and a glamorous figure, undergoing a mastectomy was no easy decision. Yet the first person to support her was Brad Pitt. I am fortunate to have Brad Pitt, my loving and supportive partner, always by my side. We found moments to laugh together. We knew this was the right decision for our family, and it brought us even closer, she said. Brad Pitt explained his support simply. He wanted Jolie to have a healthy and long life, with me and the kids. These have been some of the happiest days for our family. Both Angelina and Brad stressed the importance of family, of emotional encouragement from children and loved ones, when making life's toughest decisions. With them by your side, you are willing to face hardships, even if you don't yet know what lies ahead. Always there at the right time. In March 2015, Angelina underwent another surgery, this time to remove her ovaries and fallopian tubes to further reduce her cancer risk. This procedure brought on early menopause, meaning she could no longer have children. She shared in the New York Times, "When the doctor called to say my blood test showed signs that could be precancerous, I phoned my husband, who was in France. He got on a plane within hours. The wonderful thing about such life moments is that everything becomes crystal clear. You know what you live for and what truly matters." Jolie admitted that while her breast surgery had greatly changed her body, the ovarian surgery affected her even more, altering hormones and emotions. Yet through it all, Brad Pitt was there, setting aside his busy schedule to accompany her through every surgery. He expressed pride in her. She did this for the kids, and so that we could continue to be together. Brad often spoke with optimism about the challenges his wife faced, calling them beautiful and emotional months. Because the more hardships they endured, the deeper their understanding and love grew. The actor once joyfully shared, "We now know that this cancer is no longer something that can affect us. The thing I am proudest of is my family. No illness can change that." Brad always offered Angelina sweet, tender words to strengthen her resolve, accompanying her to many events, traveling together, and creating little surprises, such as visiting her unexpectedly on set, just to bring her joy.